So, regular segments we got now, your question of the day and some trends. So, V, question of the day, this is what we're asking.
All right, this is what we'd like to know from you. What are your thoughts on the comments made by ANC Deputy President Paul Mashatile that apartheid is one of the reasons for challenges related to poor service delivery? Share your thoughts and opinions with us on Morning Live SABC on X and Facebook. Alternatively, send through your voice notes on WhatsApp.
Good, looking forward to hearing from you. So that's the question of the day. And also remember, if you've got any questions that you'd like to pose to Premier Zamani Saul from the Northern Cape under the spotlight today. V, as you know, we're inviting all the premiers into studio, so he's going to be in the Kimberley studio, so we'll be chatting to him if you'd like to. Already there are questions coming in for him, so that's also something that we are looking at.
I'm looking forward to that because I thoroughly enjoyed the sessions that you were having with the top five parties on their manifestos. Yeah. Very enlightening.
I must say that was a very popular segment, and for those that missed it, it's all over the SABC News YouTube channel, so just go and search for those and you'll be able to listen to those political party leaders and in some instances, you know, deputy leaders or spokespeople, whatever the case may be, but they gave us a look into their manifestos and what they stand for. And, you know, sometimes we as voters we vote with, you know, just past thinking of what we used to vote for. But listen, read those manifestos and see if that's what they stand for and you like it. It's important to be an active citizen when it comes to voting. It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for now, let's take a look at what's trending on X this morning. And right at the top of our trending list is hashtag Ekurhuleni.
Yeah, so it was a mess last night, once again. You know, we're always talking about these things, and the DA walked out of an extraordinary sitting of that Ekurhuleni Council. The council had voted to first conclude the extraordinary meeting before completing last month's council meeting, but then last month's council meeting was set to hear a motion of no confidence in the mayor. The DA walked out. It began at 2:30, 6.5 hours later, this is, it still hadn't started. And then the speaker apparently announced the council would first sit for the extraordinary meeting and only then complete the last council meeting. And it was also for the council to finally table the Auditor General's report, but the last council meeting had not concluded because it had ended in a brawl between the EFF and the ANC. Do you remember that? Those visuals we were showing, that was at the end of February. Then the DA raised its distress regarding the swap in meetings, saying it was illegal for a new meeting to be held if the business of the last meeting was not concluded. So, I mean, it's a mess. It really is. So, but anyway, the mayor survived again. So we've got that story in the news.
Another day, that's Mayor of Godwana.
Absolutely.
And the next one on the trends topic is one that's been going on for the longest time, but it's hashtag Vodacom. And of course, it seems like Vodacom and Makete want to have a settlement out of court. But this one has been going on for about 2 decades now. Yeah. So it would be amazing to see it come to finality and the man finally being given what he deserves.
It will, but just the numbers are what at play at the moment. So there could be an out-of-court settlement. The numbers of between, listen to this.
29. How much is it?
40 billion to 63 billion rand is what they're saying. I mean, this is just insane. So I'm reading an article here. This is from Business Tech saying Kenneth Makate and Vodacom plan to enter private talks to discuss his compensation for this callback phone service he proposed more than 2 decades ago. And you know, there was a whole court ruling, and they were saying that the South African Supreme Court of Appeal entitled Makate to compensation ranging from between 29 to 63 billion rand, which would have devastating consequences for Vodacom. So now they've got to figure out what they're going to do with an out-of-court settlement and what that number, the lucky number, will be. Some say, you know, at the time, remember, it was 47 million rand.
It's going to be in the billions.
It's going to be insane, and he is certainly going to be one of the richest men in South Africa once that
He deserves that.
Actually on the continent, I reckon.
After 20 years of going back and forth, he deserves
So we'll see what happens, but that's a big one. It's a big one, and that constantly comes up as one of those. Okay, sports. We had to dig to find things other than sports because soccer dominating.
Absolutely.
So
it's
what
Champions
happened?
League time. So let's start with the third topic we've got on our trends list, and that's Tebogo Mokoena of Mamelodi Sundowns. I mean, Tebogo is a marvel to watch on the field of play. So last night was the Tshwane derby. Look at the scorcher of a goal that this young man scored.
Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful to watch.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at that.
Oh, that is beautiful.
No goalkeeper would have a chance in that instance. And of course, Vodacom, they're opening the scoring in the 30th minute for Mamelodi Sundowns. This Sundowns team is unbeaten in 18 games this season. Since the season started, they haven't lost a single game. But the last time they lost was in 2022. September in the league against the very same SuperSport United. So SuperSport still managing a point against Sundowns.
So that was a fantastic. I mean, looking at that Sundown team, most of them are Bafana, right?
They are.
Hey, a brilliant team. They really are. Okay, so that's Tebogo Mokoena and Sundowns trends, and then of course Arsenal. Shame.
Yes, Sakina's
not here to talk about that. And the mighty Gunners of North London and all of that stuff. We missed out on that, but so they did it on penalties against Porto,
yes.
Right?
All the way going into a penalty shootout. You'll remember the first leg, Porto found that winning goal in the last literally kick of the game. And this time around, Arsenal being able to score on home ground, forcing the game then into a penalty shootout because it ended 1-1 on aggregate. And unfortunately for Porto, in the penalty shootout, they didn't manage to get the job done, and it's a massive congratulations to Arsenal. It's been a long time since they last made it into this next round of the Champions League. 14 years in waiting it's been for them.
Amazing. Well, good luck to them, and I can imagine very happy Arsenal supporters out there. All right.
Including Sakina.
Fact. That's a fact. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Those are your trending topics for now.